Hey, Truth Seekers, Zach here. We're coming up on the 2-year anniversary of the Newtown, Connecticut shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School. That anniversary date will be December 14th, 3 days from today. What I want to talk about is information I haven't talked about yet in any of my video posts. If you've never heard of this man, Jack Sphunt, he is a local town hero in Newtown, Connecticut. On January 11th of 2012, a little more than 11 months before the shooting, he was given an award for 40 years of community service serving the youth in Newtown, Connecticut. His home backs right up to Sandy Hook Elementary School. His backyard is connected to the school. His name is Jack Sphunt. Jack has the gematria of, or sums to 7, has that coded 113 in it. Sphunt sums to 26. Jack Sphunt combined sums to 33. A very significant number in this shooting as well as all shootings. Why? Because these two institutions are involved in all of them. The NRA, the police. Excuse my writing from this angle. Police in gematria sums to 33 with Pythagorean method. NRA with simple English gematria is 14 plus 18 plus 1. And it sums to 33. These numbers we find coded into all shootings. I owe this shooting itself a big thanks in finding this out. Before I go into it further, I'll just share with you guys. On the day of the shooting, I was working as a teacher in Bellevue, Washington. And on that day, I remember hearing chatter from other teachers and faculty who had seen the news. And also that day, we even had parents come in early to pick up children because they were worried for their children's safety. Keep in mind, I'm in Seattle/Bellevue, Washington, more than 3,000 miles from Newtown, Connecticut. But it just shows you what it does to people. The parents at the school I worked at were literally afraid for their children's lives because of what happened in Newtown, Connecticut that day. So that is the power of our mainstream media. Give this an adjustment here. All right. So the name Sphunt sums to 26. A very important number in this shooting. It was said that there was 26 victims. 26 victims on 12/14, December 14th. What is 12 plus 14? It's 26. And of course, 26 is the God number in gematria. The English alphabet is 26 letters. The word God is spelled G-O-D. That's the 7th plus the 15th plus the 4th. It sums to 26. Look at Newtown in Pythagorean gematria. N's the 14th letter, so 1 plus 4 becomes 5. N is represented by 5. E is the 5th letter. W is the 23rd. 2 plus 3 becomes 5. T is the 20th. 2 plus 0 becomes 2. O is the 15th. 1 plus 5 becomes 6. O is the 23rd. 2 plus 3 becomes 5. N is the 14th. Again, 1 plus 4 becomes 5. So every letter in Newtown becomes a 5 except for the T and O, which form a 2 and 6, a lot like the number 26. Very interesting, right? All these 26s stacking for this event. The name Lanza. When this happened, I didn't know anything about gematria. I didn't even know that gematria existed. And around this time, I was asking myself, how are they creating these names? Why are they doing it on this date? Why are they saying this many victims? I had all these questions and no answers. Well, eventually I got some answers, and that's what I'm sharing with you now, Truth Seekers. But in this study of gematria, there's also a method where you drop all the syllables. So in this case, in the name Lanza, you would get rid of the A's, and the name would just become L-N-Z. Well, if you do that, L is the 12th letter, N is the 14th, remember the date's 12/14, and Z is the 26th. What do you know? 12, 14, and 26. pertinent numbers in this entire event. Making matters more interesting is the school's name was Sandy Hook, and we've been getting bombarded with things involving Sandy. From Hurricane Sandy to this, to several other news stories. You look at how often the name Sandy has been in a negative story in the last few years, your mind will be blown, Truth Seeker. The name Sandy has a gematria of 27, which is a bad vibration number. Think of all the rock stars to die at 27. Sandy Hook forms the gematria of 49, the number of revelation, a number becoming coded more and more frequent. Right now, there's a movie trailer out called San Andreas, showing the destruction of the Los Angeles and the West Coast. The release date for that film is May 29th, 2015, 5/29/15. If you add it up, it sums to 49. The word San Andreas is just like Newtown. It also sums to 33 in gematria. So we have another 33-49 pairing. My point is that the movie San Andreas is actually a lot like the news story of this shooting. Why? Because they're pre-planned, they're pre-packaged, and they're meant for our eyes. We know that movies aren't real. We've been told that the news is. And what I'm here to tell you, Truth Seekers, is probably what a lot of you already know. Our news is as fake, if not more fake, than the movies we watch. I think a lot of us realize there's more truth in movies than there are in news. I think if I did a survey question with the American public, a lot of people would say they find more truth and relevant information in movies than they do the news. And this right here is why. Do you remember the first parents to come out and speak? Robbie Parker. Both the name Robbie and Parker sums to 33 in gematria. The name Robert also sums to 33. Short name for Robert there, Robbie. The chief medical examiner, who in time before any of this happened helped legislation get passed so that children's bodies would not have to be disclosed to the public in autopsies. I have a post on that. Look it up. I did one on Dr. H. Wayne Carver. I'll link it down in the comments. His name, written as this, how they always present it in the media, sums to 93 in gematria, like the number of Thelema, the occult religion. So, also, Truth Seeker, what I want to point out with Adam Lanza in this shooting is that on November 25th, 2013, a date with a numerology of 49, just like Sandy Hook, there was a 44-page report released. The word 40, or the number 44 in gematria, the word kill sums to 44. We're getting a 44-page report on a date with a numerology of 49 in regards to a school shooting killing. This year, on November 21st, 2014, we got a 114-page, 114. Another number just as much associated with death, killing, and assassination. Also notice that 11 times 4 is 44. They just won't stop coding the same numbers over and over, Truth Seekers. I've been writing about how they keep coding the same numbers into Sandy Hook, and then even they continue to blow me away by releasing more and more information with the same numbers. This was just last month that we got this 114-page report on Adam Lanza. It makes you wonder who's taking the time to make up this stuff. I don't even think Adam Lanza is a real person. Notice how 114 is also coded into his name. Oh, isn't it bad, Truth Seekers? Isn't it bad? Once upon a time, I was trying to convince the people I knew that this Sandy Hook shooting was a no good lie without this gematria knowledge. And people kept asking me, well, if it's fake, how does the news get away with it? How come nobody speaks out? My response to that, Truth Seeker, is that people do speak out, and they're not taken seriously. Also, the mainstream media has a pretty tight grip on what communication gets out. And often when they do have truth tellers on TV, they spend the whole time demonizing them, labeling them as crazy. And in turn, we get a general public who does the same thing to people they encounter who speak those points of views. I know this because this has been happening to me for the entire post 9/11 era. I've been trying to speak truth to power this whole time. So I've just had to sharpen myself. I've had to increase my knowledge so that I can explain further beyond what I've always seen. Now I can share this. And to me, this stuff's just undeniable, you guys. Some people say it's all coincidence, but I say no, no, no. Every shooting since this one has had 33 coded into it. They just can't help themselves. This Michael Brown thing right now is just 33 through and through and through. They keep having to add new details, new shootings. They won't stop. The same numbers. So until next time, Truth Seekers, thanks as always for tuning in. I appreciate your likes and subscriptions. Stay tuned.